Welcome back, everyone, to our gameplay series of X4 Foundations. In today's video, I want to give you guys an update. I've let the game run for about an hour since we were last together. I have not purchased any additional ships, but I have spent quite a bit of time having my base ship, our starter ship here, for this particular game start. I've had it exploring quite a bit. So let's start out looking at our map. You can see I've come over to the Reach and discovered that. I've also gotten off of the second contact flashpoint, and I've discovered a couple of the Black Hole Sun sectors. I've discovered Grand Exchange, Path to Profit, and then I've gotten over here to 18 billion. So we're slowly getting there on the map, at least as far as the portions of the map I want to make sure that I get unlocked. Now, a big part of that as we go forward is going to be that I want to make sure to unlock enough stations so that we can have plenty of places to trade, because very soon we're going to have our first station that is completed. So let's actually come back out and go to our HQ. And if we go under plan build, you can see that right now we are waiting for our final container storage to be completed. We don't have any of the resources yet. 2 minutes because of the mod we're using to reduce the amount of time this takes. 2 minutes is the amount of time it takes from the very beginning if you haven't even started. And then, of course, we've got our fabrication bay. And the fabrication bay is what's going to take so much of our money. So let's go ahead and take a look at the money situation. Down here at the very bottom, you can see we're going to need about 12.9 million to get this thing completed. And again, nearly all of that is tied up in the fabrication bay. I currently have 1.26 million in there to finish off the container storage. Now, I've generally used more container storage than this, and we will probably add some more to it later on. But I think since we're using the large container storage, having this number of them should be really good, because I think we've got, 7 of them on there now. That should be fine, at least to get us started. But even once we get the container storage done, then we get the fabrication bay done, we've still got a lot of work to do on this particular station before we can build ships, because we're going to need to purchase blueprints for not only the ships, but all of the different parts and pieces that we want to go on those particular ships. So a lot of money still to be spent, but the main point is we're on our way. You can see here that we've made quite a bit of money. 14.2 million is where we sit right now, and we've got 1.4 that will be coming in based on trades and mining and so on. The traders, a quick update on them. Our free traders have been doing okay. I actually had to come in and make an adjustment to each of them, and we'll just take a look at free trader number 1 as an example. The one thing I came in and made a change on is the minimum profit percentage. I believe he was set at 50 by default when we last were together, but I had to reduce it down to 20 because at one point, fairly quickly into this, probably 15-20 minutes in, he actually ran out of trades to find, or at least it was taking him quite a while to find any. He might have found some eventually, but he wasn't finding any very quickly, so I've lowered this down to 20. Now, that simply means that we're probably going to do less profitable trades, but that's okay. As long as these guys keep trading, then that is the main thing right now. And we'll probably add some more free traders as time goes on, but for right now, we've got 2, and that's good enough, because one of the things we're going to be looking at doing once we get our HQ done, which of course is going to be our place to build ships, once we do that, I'm going to be adding some supplier ships in, and we're going to focus on that and try to keep our shipbuilding operation up and going as best we can. And then we'll supplement that in the future with some additional stations that I'm sure we're going to need for things like engine parts and hull parts and who knows what else we'll have to end up supplying as time goes on. But the main thing that I have really been happy to accomplish is really moving out and getting some additional sectors in here. Obviously, we're not done with that. In fact, there's an entire faction over here in Antigone Memorial that we really haven't done anything with. So we'll want to work on that as well. But for right now, what I want to do is something I'm actually not sure if this is going to work or not. We're going to hop in to our ship, and I'm actually going to take command. I tell you what, actually, let's don't do that just yet. I need to actually find a person, because while I'm thinking about it, it would be nice if we could go ahead and hire a manager for our HQ station. So let's go ahead and talk to her.
Hello.
And we're going to hire Callie, and we're going to right click on the ship we want her to get on right now. And for right now, it really doesn't matter. We'll put her as one of the Marines. It's no big deal how we take care of this. But we're going to hire her. And then we're going to give her an opportunity. As soon as she hops in the ship over here, we're going to hop in as well and head over to the player HQ, which is actually right over there in the distance. You can see, wait a minute, wrong side. Yeah, wrong side. There we go. Right over here behind the 4 is where we're actually going to be headed. Okay, let's let her hop in. We could always use, for our manager on the station, we could use our current pilot. That would work, but I want to make sure we keep a pilot in here, because I'm going to be sending him out exploring quite a bit more before it's all said and done. And then eventually he'll end up being part of our combat fleet. All right, so right now let's go ahead and undock. And let me get full control of the ship. And we're going to head right over here. It looks like we got a lot of work to do here. I noticed that Argon, we are at +7. So we need to get to a +10 with them as quickly as possible. And also I would like to get to +10 with Talati. At least one of the Talati factions. Perhaps the main one instead of the Ministry of Defense. Or Finance, rather. We've got a lot of work to do, but remember, we've got 24 hours before the invasion starts, or at least that's the way my understanding is. Hopefully, they'll give us plenty of time. But right now, I want to see if we can get some research started. Okay, I have seen it mentioned as a bug that this actually does not work right now with the mod, the research, so we're going to find out. Here you can see our container storages that are going in. There you see our bots over, construction bots that are working on that. And so these are very nice. They do not have any weapons on them right now, so we have no form of defense. I'll have to remember to take care of that as time goes on, because eventually we're going to need that in a big way, I would imagine. All right, so let's go ahead and get ourselves docked. Software will take over, and we're docked. All right, let's go ahead and get up, and I'm going to hop off onto the station for a moment. Okay, let's go back to the Vanguard, and this time we're going to go under personnel and crew, and we know we've got one Marine there that we just hired. Okay, let's go ahead and calm her, and I want you to work somewhere else for me. Right click and select the HQ, and then the role is going to be our manager. So again, not really anything for her to do at this particular point in time, but this is one step that we'll get out of the way. And look how fast, wow, look how fast these drones are moving. That is extremely fast. Okay, but it looks like, let's actually go ahead and verify that. There we go, plan build. And let's just take a quick look at what we've got. So we've got Claytronics, we've got enough in storage. Energy cells, we need some more, and hull parts, we need some more of those. Okay, but long term, we're going to need a whole bunch of really all of this. So we're in pretty good shape. I'm sure we've got buy orders out there. I have not really paid much attention because it's been going, as you can see, pretty well on its own. So I've not really gotten into that too deeply. All right, so the next thing I want to do is actually head down and see if I can... let's see, let's go to the side slab and see if we can't trigger... All right, can we talk to you? Yes, we can. All right, so hopefully this will trigger and we won't get any bugs or issues. Okay, is there anything I can help with? So far, so good. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Please take a look. All right, there you can see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you can see all of the things that are needed by the different stations. And sure enough, there we go. Research is unlocked. That is very nice because teleportation is very beneficial in here. So we're going to start out with basic teleportation. We'll max this out, and then at some point we'll actually work through all of these. But for the most part, we're probably not going to be getting in depth with the mods. Okay, we'll hop back out. And then we're going to take a look at our money. Because our HQ, in order to get done, if we plan the build, it needed 12.9 million credits. We have 1.2 in there right now. So we'll call it 12 million credits that we need. Let's make sure we confirm this. And we have 15.4 million credits. So I'm thinking what we want to do here is let's give the HQ the credits they need in order to make this happen and get everything done so that then we can start adding in our supplier ships and moving forward from that perspective. All right, so we'll come back in. And let's go ahead and move this up all the way to, let's go about 13.5. Let's give a little bit of extra there just in case it is needed. All right, so what we're going to be looking for now is over the next, it's going to take a little while because the fabrication bay needs a lot, and I mean a lot of materials, but they should have the money that they need, and we'll keep a track on this from time to time. They should have enough money to get all of that done, and that will allow us from this point forward to take the money we have and continue expanding. All right, so we've got that taken care of. We've got a manager for our shipbuilding station. We've got enough credits for all of that to get built, even though it's going to take a little bit of time. So now let's actually come in, and I want to take a look at where we are on our buy offers. So let's go ahead over here. So we're at 5,800 now. When you saw that huge list pop up in the bottom left-hand corner a moment ago when we were dealing with research, all of those wares that were needed, that is my signal to tell me that the mod has run. That's the dump wares mod, the trade station drain, all of that is happening when you see that. So it means that all of this demand within the trade stations in particular for us right now has been reset. Now, it doesn't affect the regular stations that we see most often, but for our purposes, the trade stations are what I'm focused on because that's where we're selling our Navidium, and then to some extent we can sell some other things, but Navidium is really where what we're after right now. The 8 current Navidium miners that we have, plus the couple of silicone, this is a good balance. What I did find out is that with 8 Navidium miners and only Hatikva's Choice trading station opened up, that was going to be too many for that particular station. But if we move around, I have been able to unlock a couple of additional. We've got a trading station here in black hole sun, which you can see has an even bigger demand for Nevidium, so we're good to go there. And then if we come over to Grand Exchange, you can see 9,300 there. So we're in good shape. And that's actually a little bit lower. We've probably had a couple of ships come through here and sell since it was reset, is my guess. You see one there that's leaving, one that appears to still be there. So an even higher demand over here. So that's at least 3 stations we've got right now that have a demand for Nevidium. So that's really good. That means we can expand our mining fleet for Nevidium because now we have the demand to sustain that, because that demand is going to be recycled and renewed roughly each hour or so. I forget exactly the time frame I put on that. I changed it from the default, so I'll have to go back into that and see exactly how that's going to work. But for right now, we want to add a couple of more mining ships. Let's actually go under buy ships. And we're going to get the Drill Vanguard, Solid Miners where we're going to start. And let's see, 3. Okay, I think we'll leave it at the travel drive. I'm always tempted to move it into the all-around or the combat, but I think we'll leave it there because the travel drive is very important for those because they spend a lot of time going to and from the different stations. So I think we're good there. All right, weapons. Again, we don't really have any of these weapons unlocked yet because of our reputation, but we're getting there. Okay, mining on 1 and 2. Consumables, we don't really need any. We're going to keep this pretty simple. And so we're actually going to do 7 and 2. All right, there we go. So we're going to add this to the shopping list. I'm going to add 3 more in here. And again, I'll keep my eye out for the demand, and I'll see if at some point we run out of demand for the Nevidium and I see that we've got too many ships, I'll simply move it over to mine ice or silicone, something, depending on what we need at that particular time. So that's not a particularly big deal, but we want to make sure that we can maximize our return on Nevidium first and foremost. Okay, so we got about 1.5 minutes before those guys are done. Let's take a quick look through our ships, and it looks like we got most of them are mining. We got another one headed to sail. Of course, our Mammoth Vanguard, that's our builder, and he's actually going to be busy for the next long while working on our HQ. And looks like our traders are both busy. Let's take a quick look and see what they're up to. Go under behavior. Looks like we're going to be working with medical supplies. Let's see, we're over in True Sight to buy. What about to sell? Pass missed. Okay. All right, so we're branching out a little bit, dealing with some of the different factions. I'm not terribly concerned about which faction they're dealing with. That's why I didn't put any restrictions when we were dealing with it before. And let's go see what free trader number 2 is up with. And so silicon wafers. Okay, he's over in Grand Exchange. So that's some of the new areas that I have unlocked lately. And so they're already using those. So as we work our way back out, our ships are almost done. So we're looking pretty good. I want to make sure that we continue to work on our... oops, I don't need that. I need the player information. Let's go into the factions. You can see Argon, we're at +8. Hatikva Free League, +8. HOP, +2. Ministry of Finance, we've just uncovered them not too long ago, so it's not surprising we're still at 0 there. Talati, we're at +4, which is actually kind of surprising because they're pretty recent additions as well, based on our exploration. And then the Terran Trader Corp, that's actually part of the mod that's with the invasion and all of that. I have no idea where they're located. My understanding is they have their own sector or sectors, but I'm not sure. Maybe we'll eventually run into them. They are, you can see, we're friends with them already, and we should be able to purchase ships from them. So that might be another avenue for us to do that over time. But I'm pretty happy right now with where we are. Let's actually come into our new ships, our new miners. Let's see. We want to do, well, I've already forgotten what number. We're ready for NV9. Okay, let's take care of that. Then we come to our order. We're actually going to do random mine. We don't want to do sector auto mine. We want to do random mine. And let's see what we need to do. Let's do free miner as well. Supplier is perfectly fine. As we get deeper into the game, that could become very helpful. So that's perfectly fine. The gate distance, we're going to max this out. Okay, 90% before looking to sell. That's perfectly fine. Looks like I'm going to be good with all of these. And let's add our wares in here. We're going to go Navidium and confirm that. Okay, so NV9, let's go NV10 before I forget what number sequence we're in. And we're going to do the same thing. Okay, all right, we've got advanced auto mine, so we'll go ahead and use that since it is available. Okay. Let's see. Why don't you want me? Okay, I guess we're not. So no big deal. We'll just come back under random mine and we'll use that. So 26 gates. That is a ton of gates. Okay, Navidium there. And everything else should be perfectly fine. And so we'll go ahead and confirm that. All right, and last but not least, we've got NV11. Okay, all set. Definitely want to do random mine here. Only 14 gates, but still, that should be more than enough for what we're going to need. Okay, I think we're all set. Let's go ahead and confirm that. And now, let's take a look at the ones we just added. So I see NV9. Okay, mine resources. It's going over to Hatikva's Choice 3 for Navidium. So everything must have been okay there. 10, let's make sure it's mining. Same place, Hatikva's Choice 3 for Navidium. And then finally, okay, so he's still undocking over here. So let's head over. Okay, they should be about done. And you just saw the mine resources order pop up. Same place, Hatikva's Choice number 3. So we've got two popular destinations right now for mining Navidium. We've got Hatikva's Choice 3, and then we've got down here in Second Contact. Both of those are, well, you can see, we've got ships flying around these different ones. And that is a beautiful thing. Quick check on our money, 3.5 million, 1.9 million is due from trades from our miners and or traders in the near future. So we are in good shape. I am very happy with our progress to this point. Again, we're only a little over 2 hours into the game. This is the beauty of the Game Start mod that we used. We are able to get basically right to the point of what we want to accomplish and not have to go through quite as much of the grind to get there. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue X4 Foundations.